What's going on? I hope you guys are having a great day. Livy reminded me I'm supposed to be going live. I did a little bit of video editing earlier in the day, so sorry I wasn't live for that. But I'm doing some more Soavie Island pumpkin patch editing, going through trying to get some new titles, just designs, and then working on the thumbnail as well for that. So doing Adobe Premiere Pro as we usually do. This is KTV, and I hope you guys are enjoying. It's Halloween. We just got back from enjoying a nice movie. We saw The Joker, so absolutely loved that movie. Just beautifully done. I'm going to be looking at some videos to get a little bit of inspiration for how we're going to do the title for this, and then take it from there. Shout out Mark Webster.
Today we're going to do something a little bit different than our typical Final Cut Pro videos. We're going to be working in Adobe Premiere Pro. So I know if you've been around for a while and subscribed, I've been sort of strictly to Final Cut Pro with a little bit of Premiere Pro videos in there. But I'm going to start doing more Premiere Pro video for you guys. So if you're a Premiere Pro user, then definitely consider subscribing because there's going to be a lot more videos to watch. Today we're going to do a tutorial on how to do the Beautiful Destinations intro text effect. I first saw this in their Venice video by Noah Langer, but they seem to be doing it in all their videos right now, which I think is actually a really cool effect. I really like the look of it. It's super cinematic and it's very different from everyone's typical Sam Colder wiggly text effect. So I'm going to show it to you guys here if you guys haven't seen it yet. Take a look. It's pretty much just the texting. The text is writing onto the video, sort of self-writing on the screen. So that's the effect. It's super simple, but I think it's super clean, and it looks really good in all their videos. So in order to get this, you're going to want a nice script font. My favorite that I've found is called Gloss and Bloom. You can download it for free. I'm going to put a link in the bio if you guys want to download it. And as you can see, it's very similar to the one that Beautiful Destinations used, but it's a little bit different. It's not going to be the exact same, but it's still going to work really well for what we're trying to accomplish here. So if we hop into Premiere Pro, I have a clip laid out of a drone shot of last night's. It should have been a nice sunset, but the storm was blowing in here in Edmonton. So it didn't look that good, but that's okay. It will do for this. So to start off, we're just going to make a new titles. So we're going to go into our project, create a new title.
Downloading this from 1001 Free Fonts. Please don't corrupt my hard drive. Thank you, Clement. Beautiful. Cool.
And then we're just going to drop. So it didn't look that good, but that's okay. So if we hop into Premiere Pro, I have a clip laid out of a drone shot of last night's. It should have been a nice sunset, but the storm was blowing in here in Edmonton. So it didn't look that good, but that's okay. It will do for this. So to start off, we're just going to make a new titles. So we're going to go into our project.
Just go right, do it as he does it. It's this way for me to learn. Go into the project title. Got it. New.
In here in Edmonton. So it didn't look that good, but that's okay. It will do for this. So to start off, we're just going to make a new titles. So we're going to go into our project, create a new title.
Mine does not have that. Okay. Just curious if I do that. Oh, so it's just a graphic. So with my version of Premiere Pro, I believe you have to go to File and create a new title. Now, it's my Premiere Pro, new legacy title. Here we go. Okay. Create a legacy title.
And then we're just going to draw a new text box, make it the full width of here. We'll make it pretty big. I'm going to center it. And I'm just going to do Canada for this example. And then change our font over here, a new text box of a drone shot of last night. It should have been a nice sunset, but the storm was blowing in here in Edmonton. So it didn't look that good, but that's okay. It will do for this. So to start off, we're just going to make a new titles. So we're going to go into our project, create a new title, and then we're just going to draw a new text box, make it the full width of here. We'll make it pretty big. I'm going to center it. And I'm just going to do Canada for this example. And then change our font over here to Gloss and Bloom. And then I'm just going to make this really big because it just helps for tutorial purposes. The other thing that's going to help for this effect is actually if you increase the kerning between the letters. That's the icon just below. The other thing that's going to help do Canada for this example. And then change our font over here to Gloss and Bloom.
Kind of just skipped over how to import a font.
Find the font that you're looking for, click download, open the downloaded file, double click on the font that you'd like to add and click install font. Close out Premiere.
Got it. Install font. Got it. Cool. Now it's installed. Pretty simple. Controls. Gloss and bloom. Check that out, y'all. It's literally, thank God for YouTube.
And then I'm just gonna make this really big because it just helps for tutorial.
Cool. All right, already looks a lot better.
For all purposes. The other thing that's going to help for this effect is actually if you increase the current, and then I'm just going to do Canada here. We'll make it pretty big. I'm going to center it, and
let's just make sure it's fully centered. Center that, center that. Cool with it.
just going to do Canada for this example. And then change our font over here to gloss and bloom.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just going to make this really big because it just helps for tutorial purposes. The other thing that's going to help for this effect is actually if you increase the kerning between the letters. That's the icon just below.
Kerning. Forward. Oh, there's no kerning. I can't do the kerning. Oh, I gotta highlight. No, still won't let me do any kerning. Let's deal with that. Maybe it's too big. Still won't let me do any kerning. It'll let me do leading. It'll let me do baseline shift. Maybe because I have 2 lines. Still won't let me do kerning. Oh, there we go. Yeah, well, I'm tripping. It was grayed out, and I was assuming it was uneditable, and it is uneditable. But we will find a way. Oh, just let me go again. There we go. Huh. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's uneditable. One more. Okay. Yeah, it won't let me do the kerning when everything's highlighted. I could do less aperture. Yeah. Cool. Love it.
The text size, I'm just going to drag that out. And that's just going to help us with the write-on effect. Maybe that's a little bit much. Don't want it to look funny. And just space that just like so. And then I'm going to bring this down just so we can see it a little bit easier in the frame. The other thing that's going to help for this is just change the color temporarily, and we can change it back at the end. Change it to something really bright. So I'm going to do lime green, for example. That's just going to help with our effect that we're going to be applying. So that is what we got for our title sequence. I'm going to drag that into the timeline, just like so. Next thing we're going to want to do is create a new transparent video. So again, new item, transparent video, and then drag that over top of our title sequence. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to apply the write-on effect straight onto the transparent video. So if I just bring up my effects here, just type in write-on. That's going to be under video effects, generate write-on. And we're going to apply this to the transparent video here. So if we go over to our effect controls on the left side, I'm going to increase the brush size to about 20. I'm going to change the stroke length. So this is pretty much whatever duration you want for the shot. So for this, let's just do 5 seconds, for example. And change the brush spacing to 0.001. And then the rest of it, we could probably leave the way it is. So I'm going to increase the brush size. Actually, you can see this little white dot that was created here. It's a little bit small. You want to make sure that your dot is bigger than any of the strokes. So if you look over at our D, there's a pretty wide stroke there. So I'm just going to bring this up. Just we're not going to have any issues with that whatsoever. So that looks good for our setup here. I'm going to go to the beginning of the clip, and I'm going to hit the click. Click on right on, and then click the toggle animation button for brush position, just like so. And for this, we're just going to drag our clip over to right on the C. And this is going to be our starting point for our animation.
It's not letting me click that.
Clip over to right, set up here. I'm going to go to the beginning of the clip, and I'm going to hit the click on right on, and then click the toggle animation button.
Got it. Oh, let me do it.
Click on right on, and then click the toggle animation button.
Got it. To really click on right on. Got you. Gotcha.
Button for brush position, just like so. And for this, we're just going to drag our clip over to right on the C. And this is going to be our starting point for our animation. So basically, we're going to trace the outline of the letters with this brush, and then we're going to do a track matte to it once it's all done. And that's what's going to create the right on effect. So for this, we're just going to be skipping frame by frame and just moving the little brush head around the form of the letter. So try and do a couple frames in between, because we can always speed it up and change the speed afterwards. So I'm going to hit the next frame here, and then drag this up, hit the next frame. I'm just going to undock this. And then if we zoom in a little bit, that's going to help with our tracing. Perfect. Drag that up. Next And then if we zoom in a little bit, that's going to help with. So try and do a couple frames in between, because we can always speed it up and change the speed.
So he didn't show that as well. But. Yeah. Whoa.
Afterwards. So I'm going to hit the next frame here and then drag this up, hit the next frame. I'm just going to undock this. And then if we zoom in a little bit, that's going to help with our tracing. Perfect. Drag that up, next frame. So as you can see, you get these little heads, which we can use to manipulate the curve to make it a little bit smoother. I found this takes a little bit too long, and it doesn't actually help create the effect too much. So we're just going to drag, next frame, bring this down, next frame. And as you can see, we're hiding the text, and that's exactly what we want for this effect. So we're going to go down to the next letter, jump there, create a new frame, and pretty much just try and think of how you would write this letter if you were to write it by hand. And then we're going to trace it out exactly how we'd write it, and that's what's going to give us the most believable write-on effect.
I realized
So I'm just going to fast forward this till we get to the end, and then we'll show you the next step after that.
As it's tracing, I'm starting to understand a lot better how this will unveil itself. So it's becoming a little easier, but I could be completely off. Okay. Whew.
Hey guys, so that
Tell me I could just be.
is the effect so far. So that is all wrapped around. One thing that might help too, that I just sort of noticed is when you're jumping from letter to letter, make sure you don't get any of the marker effect on the clip, because then when it's writing through, you're going to see a little bit of that. So be careful of that. But hopefully it'll work for you guys. Our next step in this is if we hit our effects again, we're going to go to the loop or track mat. So this is under video effects and then keying and then track mat key. And then if we drag this to our title sequence that we have, and then for our mat, we're going to do video 3, and that is going to be our transparent video. So as you can see, the whole marker effect went away. I'm just going to close off this panel again, bring this back to fit. And then as you can see is we get the whole marker effect went away. I'm just going to close off this. This panel again, bring this back to fit. And then as you can see is we get the right on effect. So our next step in this is going to be to change our title back to white. Just like so. And then boom, there is our right on effect. Another really cool effect, if you want more details in this, is
Pretty cool, not gonna lie. But it took away the Soavie island part, which I don't understand why. Change this to white. Okay. I'm cool with that. If we get in places, I think I can do this. Okay, bringing it down. Oh. And then we get this. Want to disappear here. Boom, boom, boom. Not bad. Pretty happy with it. Pretty happy with it. That's cool.
Getting all prepared.
All right, before we got lost in the maze. we are doing some Adobe Premiere Pro editing, working on a pumpkin patch video. Libby and I went to the pumpkin patch last weekend. Great time. So just editing this with Adobe Premiere Pro. Just after midnight. It looks like it's time to export. So let's try. Make sure. Video. This one's for YouTube. Max depth, level 5.2. Encoding, CBR 100. All right, 4 gigs, 4.7 gigs. It shouldn't take that long to export. It says the encoding is going to take 40 minutes. My laptop is much better than that. Something's going on. I think because we're on live, that is significantly dragging. Which I can understand that. Something's not right here because it's time's only going up. I am taking this MacBook in tomorrow. I want to cancel that because that is ridiculous. So close some of this. Oops, don't do that. Close up the notes. Close the preview. Close the text editor. Let this baby rest for a second. What I might do, y'all, is hop off of this live stream. I'm gonna encode this video, see if that has a decent amount of drag on the CPU. Let me try this one more time. Okay, much better. Still says about, oh no, it's pumping. Kind of just going up. All right, so I'm gonna log off of this, see if that has a little bit of an impact on this render time. Earlier, I rendered a similar video to this, and it only took about 15 minutes. And the title screen should not have that negative impact on this. So I'm gonna try that. Thank you so much for watching KTV. We're gonna check back in here. Again, the idea here is showing the process of how these dreams came to fruition. Much love. I hope you guys are having a good one. We're out here. It's love. It's happiness. It's a beautiful place, beautiful mind. And we have amazing people, amazing resources at our disposal. I just want to encourage you to use what you have at your fingertips. Create your vision. Let that vision become a screen so other people can enjoy it. Other people can be inspired by it. You guys can do this. I know sometimes it feels like the world is weighing against you, but understand that's what the pressure is making a diamond. if you do not let it tear you down, if you can continue to look up, put that chin up, like Les Brown says, you can look up, you can get up. So I encourage you, get up, go make it happen, make a great day. Much love. Bye for now. This has been KTV. We'll talk soon. I'm going to follow up on the next video, whether it's tonight or tomorrow, let you know how the impact of logging off live had on the encoding process in my video. Peace.